Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit Sun in Libra. Now, when the Sun transits Libra, you can find people being more equitable, more about being mediators, about not wanting to make waves or being involved in discord or strife. I mean, Libra is that sign of that peacemaker, I believe, and really, Libra is non-combative. This is a time where you may see people trying to find peaceful reconciliations. It could be a strong period for people that if they were in some kind of argument with somebody and they hadn't talked to somebody in some time, or they were holding some animosity toward a person, this could be the time where they tried to make up with the person and try to find some peaceful reconciliation and become friends again or what have you. And find what's interesting during this period too is that, okay, in the United States, the National Hockey League, the professional hockey organization, it begins its season when the Sun's in Libra. And I understand that hockey is a very kind of combative sport. It's very physical. You have people knocking their opponents into the boards and knocking them down, and you see a lot of physical confrontations. But what's interesting is that you have like the referees in the game when the players are fighting after a certain period, when they think the fighting's gone on long enough between the two people, to the hockey players, that you'll have a referee go in and intervene and break them up. So you have a little bit, I think, of that Libra, that kind of mediator thing going on. But even though you do have, in hockey, of course, you do have, it's a very aggressive and combative sport, and where people are very pugnacious, and really there's a lot of fighting that goes on. And I think what's interesting too about this period when the Sun transits Libra is that, okay, it's making that transition from industrious Virgo into Libra. And I think when you look at the Sun transiting Virgo, you have a lot of this emphasis, and the focal point is often on work, work, work. And people are coming back from their summer vacations, a lot of them, and they're making that transition. They're going to work. And I think what happens with a lot of people, especially people that are single and unattached and they don't have a significant other, it's kind of like, what's that expression, all play and no work make Jack, all work and no play make Jack a dull boy, or it's something similar to that. I think that's what happens a lot when the Sun enters Libra from Virgo people that are single, especially they're unattached, no significant other. They find they've been dominated by work for some time, and they want their playtime. They want to be able to have maybe somebody to fill that void in their life. That work can only do so much for somebody. And what's interesting too is that, I mean, I don't know the stats on this, but it wouldn't surprise me when the Sun's in Libra that you have a lot more people that were wrongfully imprisoned, perhaps, maybe getting exoneration. And I think there's a couple prominent cases where this happened, and many of you may have heard of David McCallum, I believe the name was, and he was set free from prison on October 15, 2011. Of course, the Sun's in Libra there then, and this was following a 28-year wrongful imprisonment, I believe, for a murder conviction. And also there's a famous case too where you have Michael Morton he was incarcerated for almost 25 years before being exonerated and released on October 4th, 2011. And of course, the Sun was in Libra, of course, at that time as well. So justice is about justice prevailing. And interestingly too, of course, when the Sun enters Libra, that in the United States anyway, you have a lot of shows that begin. Some shows that have been on previously, but their new season starting. The new television season starts for a lot of different shows when the Sun enters Libra. And I mean, television shows are connected with acting, and acting is one of the arts, and that could be associated with Libra. And what's interesting too, especially, I don't know how many of you watch a show, but Law and Order SUV, every season since it's been on, it's like the premiere episode for that new television season for that series, either it starts when the sun is in Libra or when it's very close to it in the latter stages of Virgo. So I think that's interesting too. So that's when the new, I guess you could say, the new season for that show seems to start. It starts either when the sun's in Libra or it's very close to it in Virgo on the near the cusp. So I think that's interesting as well. So it's really, this is a time where you'll find people that generally they might, even the most intractable people and intransigent ones, they might be looking for a compromise and looking to make peace. They might be tired of constant bickering and arguing. If you're you're involved with some battle with somebody and it's been going on for some time, when the sun's in Libra, I think that's a greater chance where you could have some more negotiation, you could have more peace talk, so to speak, and have maybe something come in an argument or some rift come to a conclusion at this time, more so than when the sun is in other signs. Well, anyway, people, it's important to look at the house that the sun in Libra is transiting in your natal chart, because this could be the sector of life where you could be impacted by it. Now, let's say this transiting sun in Libra, or the sun in Libra, I should say, transiting sun in Libra is in your 9th house. It's transiting the 9th house in your chart. Well, this could be a time where perhaps in-laws and grandchildren, if applicable, can be focal points. And this could be a time for you might be striving for peaceful relationships with them, or perhaps even increasing and augmenting your relationship with them. Now, it's also important to look at the aspects, if any, that are made by this transit to your natal planets and points, as this could impact the transit. Now, let's say, for example, that the transiting sun in Libra is making a conjunction to your natal Saturn. Well, this could indicate much energy dealing and in vitality connected with your responsibilities. And being in Libra, this could very well be tied in to your relationships and responsibilities connected with them. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the transit sun in Libra. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about the transit sun in Scorpio. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.